The more that I cover liberal, leftist, progressive, Democrat politics, the more I realize that not all, but a lot of black folks, y'all, they don't want leaders. They want a performance. Yeah, like they want this. Grace and peace, y'all. Listen, at this point, I genuinely do not know whether Justin Pearson is running for Congress or whether he's auditioning for the next reboot of The Color Purple. Y'all, this man is built like a recycled microphone stand. Probably weighs maybe 140 pounds, soaking wet. And this man is running. This is not a church. This looks like it's a commencement ceremony, but he's running and acting a whole fool on the stage like he either just got struck by lightning or he just found out that he got a tax refund all at the same time. We can't tell which one it is, but somehow, this is what this is what y'all are selling to Black America as leadership. This is what y'all are crashing out about now that the Democrat stronghold district down in Memphis has broken up. This is the representation that y'all are hollering and screaming, whining and crying about, not policy. Not the young girl that was just shot over the weekend taking pre-prom pictures. You ain't screaming and hollering and calling a press conference about your trash results or your horrible economy or your literacy rates and the fact that you won't give Black people school choice. No, not safer neighborhoods, none of that. An Afro. An Afro. This is what we get. This is what we get. We get an Afro with a grown man wearing a kente cloth ephod and a praise break. I'm sorry, a Pentecostal style praise break. This revolutionary cosplay thing that Justin Pearson is doing. Y'all, this man looks like if Temu was selling Black Panthers, this is what you would see as the picture. This man is giving, I don't know, bootleg Huey Newton, discount 1972 Jesse Jackson. I mean, Nate X with a student loan or something. I mean, look, y'all. I'm trying to understand, did Black Democrats, did they just look and out of all the emotional theater, they said, you know what? This guy right here, that is our guy. Y'all, today, I have got to explain why what you just saw, why does this performance work? Like, why does it work? But more importantly, this type of tomfoolery and shenanigans, y'all, this only works when Democrats can keep Black voters politically trapped inside of those racial strongholds. And now that it's broken up, y'all, we can thank the Republicans for freeing us from this foolery. This is the moment that there's competition, y'all, I'm telling you, these costumes are gonna start falling apart. Let's get into this. Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I'm your host, April Chapman, and welcome to today's podcast episode. So the first thing we need to do is we need to examine this performance, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. If Democrats don't understand anything else, they understand one thing very well. Democrats know that emotion beats information every day and twice on Sunday, especially y'all, when voters have been conditioned for several generations to associate Blackness with struggle theater, right? That's instead of producing competent leadership, people that we can emulate because their results, they just keep winning. Instead, you know what they do? They produce characters. We get caricatures presented to us as politicians. Y'all, Justin Pearson is not a politician first. This man is a whole performance. Everything about this tomfoolery is curated. You got the Afro, the Southern preacher, homiletic cadence. You have revolutionary warrior meets activism. It's like somebody told him that Malcolm X was a Marvel superhero, and he said, bet, give me that costume. And the sad part about it is, y'all, we're going to watch it again, but people fall for this. Like, these people sat here and they clapped for him and celebrated him as he made a whole fool out of himself. And these people actually went into a voting booth and said, yep, that's my representative right there. That's what they did. Y'all, let's look at this again. I'm sorry. I hate to do this to y'all, but at this point, you have to clown and shame these people because they have no shame. So you got to try to invoke some shame on the back end. Black folks with that's the sad part. These black folks have PhDs, and the PhDs ain't gave them the sense that the good Lord gave them to be like, this Negro is playing y'all. He's playing y'all. See, what y'all need to understand is everything about Justin Pearson, he's just a whole performance. Okay, no one with good sense takes this man serious. The people fall for it because for a lot of voters, unfortunately, this is just the truth. Y'all ain't got to like it, but a lot of voters mistake emotional intensity for intelligence. And if you just scream as if you are an activist, they equate the activism with achievement. It's really all about prioritizing symbolism over substance. And the irony here is that the same people who scream about stereotypes will turn around and vote for the most exaggerated caricature imaginable as long as he screams racism really loud, talks about oppression and systemic injustice and white supremacy, equity, and scream that he hates Donald Trump. If that's all it takes, y'all, in living color, couldn't have invented a character this ridiculous. They just could. I don't know if some of y'all might be too young or to remember In Living Color, but this is political minstrelsy wrapped in Marxist language, and it's not even good. First of all, no one today wears an afro. Okay, I mean, unless you're like Colin Kaepernick trying real hard to be black. Professional men today do not wear an afro unless they're purposely trying to draw attention to themselves and they're purposely trying to send a message that says, hey, do not take me serious because I'm a clown. But the reason why this works is because for so long, Democrats, you guys have relied so heavily on these black districts where all the black folks are just packed on in, and the emotional racial politics could dominate those areas without being challenged. And so as long as everybody in the district thinks the same politically, you can win with the theatrics. And people will clap for you and talk about preach, Pearson. But you don't need results to do that. You just need vibes and emotion.
The chronic victim can never be trusted, says Carl Jung.
Because I want you to know that I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be.
The chronic victim can never be trusted.
The reason we could never be who we wanted and dreamed to be in is you kept your knee on our neck. We could run corporations and not hustle in the street, but you had your knee on our neck. We had creative skills. We could do whatever anybody else could do. But we couldn't get your knee off our neck.
The chronic victim can never be trusted.
It's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
Stay on your knees. Stay on the plantation, boy. I've decided to be a free man. Slavery is a choice.
But here's the thing. Now we've got competition. Y'all, competition is creeping in. And suddenly the Democrats who screamed about Jim Crow and black people being disenfranchised are panicking because I don't know if y'all heard, and I'm probably going to do a separate video about this, but there is a black Republican woman running in District 9 who might actually become competitive in Tennessee's 9th District. And I said, well, wait a minute. I thought that black people, they lost their voting rights, right? I thought America was stopping black political participation. No, what Democrats actually mean when they say that they're being disenfranchised, what they're saying is Democrats are losing control and they'll try to invalidate a black Republican female because the worldview behind that black Republican female is not Marxist. It's not Democrat. See, remember, this may have been maybe 2 years ago. I talked about blackness and how blackness is not a color or an ethnicity, but it is a worldview. And when you hear black people, particularly the commentators that you typically see on CNN, when they continue to say, no, it's still racist, and they ignore or dismiss the fact that there is a black candidate that's a Republican running in District 9, it's because to them, blackness is not ethnicity. Blackness is worldview. That's what it is. It is the electoral serf ownership that Democrats have had such a level of control over black people that they've got black people to equate their ethnicity with their political persuasion. And so what Democrats really mean when they say that they're being disenfranchised and they claim black people are being disenfranchised, no, what they're saying is we're losing control. And this is the part that scares them the most. This is why they're afraid. Because once black voters began hearing that there are alternatives that actually are articulating outcomes that favor them, and the emotional manipulation starts to weaken, people begin asking questions like, well, Justin Pearson has been in office for a while, and we've had Steve Cohen for over 20 years. I mean, he's been cosplaying like he's black, but it's just because he's a Jewish Democrat. People start asking, out of all the time that y'all claim the representation mirrors that of the community, why are our schools failing? Why are our neighborhoods so darn dangerous that a young girl just got shot over the weekend taking pre-prom pictures? Oh, we ain't heard a press conference from Justin Pearson, but he had time to do the hippity hop on stage here at a commencement. You can ask him, Justin Pearson, why are the wages stagnant? He has no answers for you other than blaming white supremacy and blaming the white Republicans, which are nowhere to be found in this district. He can't answer the question when people are like, hey, why are they targeting black people with all these abortion clinics everywhere, but we have no industries here? Why are there always protests, but we never see progress? It's because Democrats do not want those questions asked because their power depends on your dependency. This is why I always say a Democrat heaven is an American hell, because as long as the outcomes are trash, Democrats are winning. That's what progress means to a Democrat. So let's just tell the truth. Many of these Democrat-run black districts are economically depressed. They are educationally weak. The kids can't read. They can't spell. It's full of crime. Abortion has saturated the community, and Black people are killing their babies at record-breaking numbers. And everybody, mostly, or should I say, there's a huge percentage of the population that's government dependent. And yet, the Democrats keep getting rewarded for failure because to Democrats, the failure is the progress. Identity politics shields them from their incompetence. And now the mask is being taken off. And now we can see the outcomes in these communities have not improved. And people are saying, well, therefore, what do we need your representation for? I'm telling you guys, if you can convince voters that any sort of criticism equals racism, you never have to govern effectively. You could just keep doing this. You could just get on a stage, talk about the Holy Spirit is not going to allow the Republican plan to work, do the funky chicken, stomp up and down while your afro is flip-flopping in the wind, and you'll get reelected. But I'm telling you, the reason why Justin Pearson is jumping around on stage like this with this little Pentecost Holy Ghost, put him up, put him down, shout. He's not rejoicing. He's bemoaning the fact that nigga gonna have to get a job now. He's like, shoot, I'm 31. I just knew I had another 30 years. From moving from the house, he thought that Steve Cohen's seat was his. And now the power grab, the carpet has been ripped up from under this man, and he's mad about it. That's why he was all in that the state trooper's face, talking about what the is wrong with you. He is mad. That man ain't slept since they broke up that district. He thought he was a shoo-in. But now, y'all, this is why all that we're seeing from Justin Pearson, all of this matters symbolically. Because what Justin Pearson represents, he represents the modern Democrat formula. Give them radical rhetoric, a whole lot of emotional theatrics. You got to put a black church shout in there, even if it doesn't even fit in the context. It doesn't matter. You just got to throw it in. Don't forget racial grievance and accept zero accountability for your trash outcomes. They package it all together. Throw in, like I said, the little Pentecostal cadence. And then the expectation is that black voters are going to clap on beat and they're going to vote blue no matter who. But I'm telling y'all have no idea. The reason why I keep doing this content is because something is absolutely shifting. Something is shifting. People are exhausted. I've gotten emails saying, thank you for highlighting what's going on in Memphis. You have the working class Black American who is tired of the crime. They're like, I spent a lot of good money for this house, and yet the crime is high. I'm sick of inflation, these broken schools, all of this performative activism and emotional manipulation. Like, we're done. At some point, people stop wanting speeches. They don't want to see you do the funky chicken anymore. They want stability because their lived outcomes are a direct result of your negligence. Democrat negligence, that is. So let me be clear. I know the more I do content like this, people are going to say, she sure enough hate black folks. No, this ain't about hating black people. And this is not about even rejecting black culture. This is about rejecting political exploitation. I love being black. I'm an authentic black woman. I'm as authentically black as they come. But there is a difference between conflating what this Justin Pearson does and conflating that with black culture. That is not who we are. This is political exploitation. Some rich white liberal told him to put this costume on and to dance Negro dance, hop to the beat, because we're about to give you this seat, and now it's not going to work. It's not happening. I'm telling you, true leadership, it doesn't require any costumes or theatrics like this. You don't need all of this racial theater. When you are actually representing the needs of the people, it will produce results. And frankly, I'm tired of Democrats packaging struggle aesthetics as their qualification for office. You having an afro and some kente cloth is not an economic plan. And we don't care that your praise break looks like you just left a second service at the local Kojic church. We don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with the lack of public safety in your communities. And so you can scream in a church or at a commencement exercise, and it doesn't make you a statesman. No one takes Justin Pearson serious because we've recognized that the Democrat Party has been selling Black America a lot of emotional symbolism while delivering material decline. Look at the outcomes. Your outcomes are trash, and people realize it, and we see it, and they're finally waking up. And this is why a Black female Republican very well may win the seat that he thought he was a shoo-in for. I'm telling you, the reign of emotional plantation politics is weakening, and it didn't happen overnight, and it's not happening everywhere, but slowly and surely. Oh, yes. People are beginning to realize that representation without legitimate transformation is just another hustle. And y'all been hustling Black folks since the civil rights operation of the 1960s, but your day is done. So I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this episode? If you did, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share this episode with somebody who is tired of political theater masquerading as leadership. This was the representation that they were crashing out over. And you tell me if this type of representation is worth keeping around. I don't know about you, but all we're going to do is sit here and clown him and watch him like we're watching the latest episode of In Living Color. And In Living Color has not been on since the 90s. So whatever it is you guys think, do you think emotional activism has replaced real leadership in modern politics? If so, leave me your thoughts down below. If you're like, no, Justin Pearson is the man of the hour and he's the change we need to see, I want to hear from you too. So until next time, you guys, stand firm, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and peace.